a great question. So some other talks at the conference have mentioned that, for example, autonomy is very dear to our values and to mine personally, but that maybe sometimes it's not only good because it prevents, it's not really in line with collective action and things like that. So like maybe we're not leveraging all the power that we could have. Oh, so I didn't have time to prepare this for this year, but maybe next year. So so things should be very simple, and they're not wise. So it should be very simple because if all of us, decided that, we didn't code anymore for anybody, well, we have a lot of power there, and we could leverage this and agree on, whatever, copyleft, enforcing copyleft compliance, for example. But the reason we don't do it is because we're organized in a scheme. So in a pyramid where it's not just that the mass at the bottom decides it's clearly in our interest to strike or quit, whatever. But although this has happened, there's been organization where at some point, if all the employees walk out the same day, the CEO has to take this into account, right? And we don't need to physically attack them or anything. It's just the fact that we're more powerful. But because we're organized in a pyramid, and here I could elaborate even on the article, who do these servers really serve, etc. I serve the person n+1 above me, but the n-1 below me are my servants, and my short-term interests are still that these people right below me still serve me, although I'm a slave to like the level above, and that's what keeps. That's establishment, and that's conservatism, and that's why things stay the way they are, because there is still this. It would take like the entire bottom of the pyramid to go together, and that's how revolution works, actually, right? It's when this layer, instead of dreaming of the above and looking up there, dreaming that one day they will belong to the very top. Well, they realize that actually their real power lies in becoming allies with the lower half. And I think most of us, demographically, et cetera, here we belong to this kind of middle upper half, but not quite the top. And things will change once we flip that way.
How are other free software organizations organized?
What are the other free software organizations? You mean locally or in the world, or?
Ones that you're familiar with. April.
How are they?
Canadian one. I don't know.
Yeah, right. How are they organized as a structure of power? Almost. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I don't even know if I'm comfortable saying this because I'm being recorded. Yeah, and it involves people who are in the corridors there, etc. So of course I will not give any names, but I was once, also because I have this experience on both continents. I participated in brainstorming sessions, about organizing, the movement or the local groups, etc. And there's a point where it gets a bit uncomfortable because some people are extremely well-intentioned, but actually Richard has the answers for all this, but some people, they have real good intentions, but they don't want to, they're not comfortable, they feel they're arrogant if they speak to the press, if they become super visible, etc. Whereas pragmatically, I think it's still necessary, and I don't want to promote, just boost your ego and walk up to the camera and speak in their face. But, for example, I don't know, maybe I should not say this publicly, but, the founder of April, Frédéric Couchet, is someone who's, a fairly charismatic leader, and I'm pretty sure that even though I really emphasize the grassroots nature of our organization, and I think its strength really lies in the breadth and depth and diversity of all of its members, its success is largely due to the charismatic leadership of Fred Couchet, who has since questioned this very much, and I mean the questioning coming from himself or others. So he's experimented with withdrawing a bit, with changing the ownership or the image, etc. So as an organization, we do our homework in terms of power structure, etc. And but some organization, who have no money, no members, no network, no charismatic leader. At some point, I'm sorry, but I think that even if you have great ideals, you do need some pragmatism, and of course, I think just like what your question was hinting, I don't think that your charismatic leader should ever become your god, but I think that it helps in organizing a movement. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great topic. I'm glad you brought it here and we're having the discussion. I just wanted to, it's something I've thought about in regards to free software community. And I just wanted to mention Machiavelli as a
The Prince.
The Prince.
I'm trying to read it in the original text.
Yeah, I think that was a big turning point in terms of political philosophy, and
well, it's the foundation of it.
Exactly, yeah. And used to moralize a lot of injustices, and it was a big move from classical ethics and agape and love and all those concepts. Yeah, just wanted to mention that. Yeah.
One of the things I thought was fascinating that came up in your presentation was to think about ethical and moral implications of sharing when you go